listening to Talk AEW, the official wrestling podcast of Goombastomp.com and TiltMagazine.net. I'm your co-host, Mariko McDonald, joined as always by Mr. Aaron Santos.
Hello, WrestleManiacs.
And of course, the editor-in-chief of Goombastomp.com and TiltMagazine.net, Ricky D.
What's up, Mariko? What's up, Aaron? What's up, AEW Universe? I'll tell you what's up. Sammy Guevara. He is still the TNT champion.
Did we have any doubt?
You hear that, MJF?
Got a ring for what it's
worth. You take that ring and shove it up his ass because Sammy is the champion.
Oh my God, Ricky on fire today.
Coming in hot.
Oh my goodness. Is it the turkey? What's going on? Should be the opposite. Tryptophan's supposed to make you like lethargic.
Speaking of which, I think it's time for Ricky's rapid fire questions.
Yeah.
Which brings me to question number 1. It is Thanksgiving here in Canada. So if you could invite 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 AEW wrestlers over for Thanksgiving dinner, who would you choose?
3. Give me all of the elite. Give me Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, Kenny Omega. Well, 3, right? I would probably kick out Adam Cole, though.
Oh, yeah. Ouch.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay with Kenny Omega. I'm okay with like Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson. Oh,
I would prefer Brandon, Mike, and Adam.
I was gonna say that. I'm like, I gotta make space for Brandon Cutler, though. No, I can't. My wife would probably strangle him. You
can only choose 3, Aaron.
I know.
You've already chosen 3 wrestlers.
You know what?
Alma would flip out, kick you out of the house.
No, I will kick out Matt Jackson. Yeah, Matt Jackson. Matt Jackson, Brandon Cutler. I put Brandon Cutler in his place. So it would be Nick Jackson, Brandon Cutler, and Kenny Omega. That would be my invited guest.
Well, I would invite Abaddon, number 1.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah. Right.
Interesting Abaddon. Choice.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, imagine sitting down for dinner with Abaddon.
Oh, I especially love her new look with the shaved sides and the pompadour. It's so good.
So if I'm going to invite Abaddon, I would, of course, have to also invite Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and have her sit across from Abaddon. That'll make for an interesting Thanksgiving dinner.
No doubt.
My third and final pick, because I can only choose 3. This is tough, guys. This is tough. I kind of want to pick Adam Cole, and he is related to Britt, so it would make sense.
Right.
He's also amazing. Of course, I could also choose Sammy. I don't know. I feel like I need someone weird. I need someone weird to mix things up, so it could be an exciting night of Thanksgiving dinner. Maybe possibly a fight breaks out. Britt Baker takes the turkey, slams Abaddon across the head with the turkey. Abaddon pile drives her on the table.
Peter Avalon.
I like it. I like it a lot.
I don't know if I would take Peter Avalon. Let me think about my third choice. Mariko, who would you pick?
I'm gonna go with Uno and Stu and John Silver from the Dark Order.
Yeah.
Just because John Silver's hilarious, and I think he would make a great dinner guest. And Uno and Stu, if my husband and I get tired of English, we could just switch to Joao and everyone would know what was going on. And also we could just spend the whole time talking about video games, because I know that Uno and my husband have like kind of exactly the same taste and stuff. So I think that they would just go on some kind of obscure 90s JRPG tangent and just have a great time.
I wouldn't be surprised if they had similar friends here in Montreal.
For sure. Yeah.
There's only so many degrees of anybody, so we probably know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody.
Right. You know what? For my third choice, I'm going to choose Eddie Kingston, because the dialogue that would come out of his mouth sitting next to Abaddon for Thanksgiving dinner, it would be gold. I would film it and I would release it and I would make so much money. Guaranteed. Yeah. So those are my 3 picks. Like, can you actually imagine if AEW did a Thanksgiving dinner sort of video package, short film, whatever you want to call it? It would be hilarious if they chose those 3.
Right, for sure.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of Thanksgiving, what are you most grateful for when it comes to AEW?
CM Punk. Yeah, CM Punk. Oh, yeah.
Storylines that make sense.
Daniel Garcia. Hey, he had another great match this week.
He did?
Yeah, that was one of my favorite matches, my CM Punk matches, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very good.
Yeah, I think it was an amazing match. I think it's actually CM Punk's best match so far.
Yeah, in AEW. Yeah, I would definitely argue that.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm grateful for 2.0, all the Canadian talent on AEW. Evil Uno, Stu Grayson, Jericho, Christian Cage. I mean, there's a lot of Canadian talent on AEW. Even Sean Spears.
Ethan Page, Kenny Omega.
The Bunny.
The Bunny.
Wait, where is the Bunny from? Ontario?
Toronto, yeah.
Toronto.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, no, I'm really grateful for the new talent, and I will always forever be grateful to the Four Pillars. And the 4 reasons why I continued watching AEW, of course, Sammy, MJF, Darby, and Jungle Boy. Yeah, guaranteed. Like, Jericho got me into AEW, but it's because of those 4 dudes that I continued watching that first year.
What would I be grateful for? I'm kind of grateful that like the Young Bucks lost their title. Again, I'm like going back to like my story about my marriage, but it was on the wire, man. I'm grateful I'm grateful that they knew when to give up the titles or like, lose. I'm grateful for that.
And Mariko.
I'm grateful for a great women's division that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I guess grateful for the fact that I was almost disassociating while watching Dynamite this week because my brain, for some reason, still can't handle the image of Daniel Bryan in an AEW ring.
True, eh? It's like it just seems so surreal every time you see.
I'm like, wait, why are we watching? Oh no, that's not what we're watching. What? Right? I know this happened like weeks ago,
mm-hmm.
but I still don't believe it.
I like how I wrote an article 2 years ago when Dynamite premiered, and I think my headline was, for the first time in 20 years, WWE has legit competition. And of course, like the ratings sort of like dipped and rose and dropped down and whatever. Yeah. But I wrote that article 2 years ago. Last week, I saw four articles on 4 mainstream publications, like huge publications that don't normally cover wrestling, much less AEW, who all had the exact same headline. I'm like, yeah you're 2 years late there, buddy.
Yeah. It was
funny. Part of that is because Tony's been talking about it a lot. I don't know if you guys saw, but like Forbes did like a 7-minute video with him.
Yeah, but Forbes, the writer they have for Forbes, I forget your name, but you're really amazing. He's also on the Wrestling Inc. podcast, so he writes about AEW on a weekly basis and has been since the start. Mm-hmm. But I'm talking about publications like Polygon, Variety, like
Variety. Right. That would surprise me.
Never cover AEW. All right, next question. If the entire AEW roster was cast in the 2nd season of Squid Game, and you had to name just one person that would survive, who would come out alive?
I'm the one person in the world not watching Squid Game right now.
I'm with Mariko. I haven't watched it yet, but I do know like the premise of this show. I mean, it is.
Everyone listening to this podcast, watch Squid Game. I kid you not, it is one of the greatest shows I've ever seen, and I watch a lot of TV. It's so much fun. I highly recommend it. 10 episodes.
Yeah, it's still on
basically.
My list.
Think Battle Royale, think Hunger Games, think The Most Dangerous Game, that kind of like TV show.
One's just got to survive.
Right. One's got to survive.
Yeah. If I was to pick out of the roster,
would you go with someone cunning and smart?
I would go with MJF, yes, just because of how cunning and smart he is. I think MJF could be the one to pull out of this sort of game.
Not someone like Lance Archer, who's a monster beast and can probably like body slam everyone on a table at the exact same time. You would go with the brains over the brawn.
Yeah, I mean, like to me, Battle Royale at the end takes a bit of brains. It takes a bit of strategy to like work yourself into like a top 10 or something.
You know what, Aaron? You actually stole my pick because MJF is my choice as well. There is no one else to pick. He would for sure win.
Exactly, but I feel like that was like the obvious pick, and especially like in a battle royale setting, right? Just like how cunning and like ruthless he is.
Well, it would be between him and Britt Baker, but those two would double cross everyone, including themselves. Like they would pair up as a team, and it would come down to the last episode, like the last 15 minutes, and you would try to figure out who would double cross who.
Right. I mean, it reminds me a bit of like the scenario in like the battle royale movie,
which is also an amazing movie if you haven't seen it. Mariko, do you want to take a guess, or you just want to skip?
I was gonna go with I like an underdog. I like somebody you don't expect. I don't know why, but the first name that popped into my head was Matt Sydal. Sorry.
Wow.
Because I feel like he's the kind of guy that is able to go under the radar.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
And like he's very flexible, he's very agile. I think that would help him. He's very smart, he's very calculating. So I think for a dark horse candidate, I'm going to say Mike Sydal.
Yeah, I like that pick.
I like him. I just wish he can cut a promo.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
It's bad. All right, Halloween is fast approaching. You have to dress up like one AEW wrestler. Who would you dress up like?
My husband and I have legit been talking about dressing up as the Young Bucks for several years now, but we both have long hair finally. So I think this is maybe the year we're actually going to do it. We'll see. He's very hard to coax into a costume, so we'll see what happens.
Is this the AEW Young Bucks of 2019, 2020, or 2021?
It's going to have to be 2018, 2019, just because of our budgets. I'm not going out and getting Dior's for a Halloween costume. And like the old school, like tights and crop top with the fringe, I think is much more manageable for us on a budget.
Dude, I'm going to say it. Just put me in a tracksuit and a plastic mask. And
yes!
Costume.
What is up with his visor? Why does he still wear the visor?
Because he's a chump.
Yeah. He's a geek.
But I mean, he broke his nose like last year.
Right?
He didn't even need it when they gave it to him.
That's true.
So,
he didn't need it when they gave it to him.
No, it had already been like 6 months at that point.
Okay, I got 3 picks because Halloween's on a Friday this year. So I would dress up as one wrestler on Friday, one on Saturday, and someone else on Sunday. So on Saturday, you didn't
explain the rules. You're cheating.
There are no rules.
that is the way Rick operates. So he will make the rules as you go
and make sure he always goes last.
Yeah. Oh my god!
So I mean, I want to choose the Demon Finn Balor, but he's not in AEW because like that outfit is amazing. The face paint, like everything about it. But no, I mean Malachi Black. If I have the actual mask,
I mean that is my dream. If I could had the time and energy to craft that mask, but I just don't right now.
It would be amazing. Yeah.
Yes.
Malachi Black will be on Friday night when you go out to like a party, and then on Saturday night when I'm with my family, I would most likely choose Abaddon because I would just annoy everyone in my family. And that brings me to Sunday when we actually give out candy. I guess I would dress up like Cody Rhodes because then I could also be Homelander at the same time.
No, you
can 2 costumes in one.
All you need to do is wear a suit.
Oh yeah,
that's all you need to
with
do.
The pink tie.
With the pink tie, yes.
Yeah, it has to be the pink tie.
You could go dress as Armed Anderson.
Oh my god.
Oh, that'd be good. No, that's a good one. That's a good one. The aviators, the tracksuit, and just like a giant desert eagle.
The latest nickname I've heard was Arson Anderson.
It's gone from Ard Anderson to Arson Anderson.
Yeah, Arson. Yeah.
Which actually,
so
funny enough brings me to my next question. What the hell is up with that promo? I was so confused. I'm like,
I'm so glad we were talking about this because is it me, or does like Arn come out as senile in this promo?
He comes out as a crazy man who broke into Cody's house.
Yes, he's a creepy stalker man who's lighting fires outside of Cody's child's bedroom.
He's burning like ties. Like that's what's so weird about
tracksuits. It started with the tracksuit.
It's just the whole like. I felt like it was like something out of a sitcom when like Cody's popping out of the window. It's like, Arn, what are you doing there?
That was amazing. Because I spotted him, and then my husband was like, "Wait, there's somebody there." I'm like,
"Yeah,
obviously it's Cody." He's like, "Who's there? Who's there?" I'm like, "I don't say anything." He's like, "Arn?" It's like, "Oh my god, he's outside Cody's house."
I could not stop laughing. I was like, I went on Twitter and I was like, "What is going on here? Can someone explain this to me? Like, what is the purpose of him breaking into his house, going into his backyard,
it's
burning his clothes?"
Cody can't be the one who breaks bad to break bad. It's part of, like, he's just gonna end up being pushed by Arn, who was pushed by Malachi Black. But for some reason, it can't just be Cody breaking bad. It has to be.
Yeah,
it's very convoluted, but it makes sense in somebody's head.
Right, but it just because we did talk about this, about the Black Mist and everything. I think Mariko, you're the one that mentioned like how it might corrupt.
Yeah, now that it's the way that it's being used, because he used it again on somebody else, and now I'm like not so sure about my theory on that.
Yeah, because it just makes Arn look like he's the one slowly going crazy here. Because... Yeah, I mean, you're going in people's backyards, burning their things. I mean, and you just openly discuss about how you would pop someone in the head if you like try to steal. I don't know, man. Where are we going?
I mean that would be a great story, a great story angle. Like that would be a great angle for a story if he actually becomes senile, because I've never seen it in wrestling.
That's true. I mean, it's something that people live with every day.
But I don't think that's what they're doing.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, the next thing you know, we're going to have like Brandy hanging upside down on top of a fire, and he's going to be like next to her with like a bunch of henchmen, and he's going to like threaten to burn her alive. Like,
oh my god,
this is
but
going
she's
really
already coming out of the heel tunnel. I don't know if you guys have noticed this.
She is such a heel. We said this, I think, in the last show. She is like really the heel here. Like, I mean, everyone boos Cody. He's not a heel. He's just like the dumbass, like good guy who doesn't realize that nobody likes his new gimmick, right? Whereas Brandy, for whatever reason, like she is living it up. Like she wants to be the heel.
Yeah.
Like, I think she's always wanted to be the heel, because when the company started, she was a heel.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's more fun. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, I mean,
do you think it's easier to be a heel or a babyface?
It's easier to be a heel just because like you could get away with a lot that you can't with as being a babyface.
I agree. Yeah.
You have a lot more tools at your disposal.
Look at a guy like, for example, Jungle Boy. He's super popular. He's a babyface, but I mean, like he just has that natural charisma. Like there's nothing really super special about Jungle Boy when you compare him to most wrestlers. Like he's really good at everything, right? But he's not the best promo. He's not the best in the ring. He's not the best high flyer. He's just good at everything, like good enough. But he's got the charisma. But then look at guys like Ethan Page. Could he be a good babyface? I don't think so. Could Sean Spears be a good babyface? I don't think so. It's so hard to get people to just love you for who you are, just being good.
Yeah.
And even if you can, that doesn't mean you're going to be able to keep them.
That's why like someone like Bret Hart, who was always a babyface, he was always the good guy. I mean, not always. He turned like heel, sort of. But I mean, it got to a point when he started talking more and more, people just started disliking him because they actually started to hear more of who he is, like naturally, like who he really is.
I mean, that was it was just natural cockiness and his attitude. I mean, he goes off saying he's the best in the world too, the best there is, or best there was. and best ever will
I think
be.
he is, though.
No, 100%. But a lot of people started to grow like.
I think when it comes to wrestling, like in
Well,
the ring, I think he's the best.
he's
Yeah.
also one of those guys who was never able to separate like Bret Hart the wrestler from Bret Hart the guy. Like it's all the same, and he doesn't want people booing him and not liking him.
Yeah, I think it's because it's who he is.
No, it's not a character with him. And I mean, that's part of what we love about him, what was refreshing about him, but it's also, you know, kind of what held him back in some ways. Sorry, we are getting way off topic tonight.
All right, so with Dynamite changing channels, and I'm not sure how this will affect us here in Canada, but I'm just wondering, I'm curious if you think ratings will drop.
I'm not sure. I can't say I'm 100% sure. Wouldn't TBS be the bigger network of the family?
Apparently it's slightly bigger, yes.
Yeah, slightly bigger, right? So I guess it just depends on they're still in the same Wednesday night time slot, right? 9 o'clock? No, 8 o'clock, sorry.
Yeah, it's a 10.
Yeah, so I like to think that they're probably gonna get more viewers or it will grow on TBS, but I don't know.
That's my assumption as well. Slightly bigger audience, slightly bigger fanfare. I mean, the whole Turner Broadcasting System is clearly super behind the organization, so I think they're going to be promoting the crap out of it on TBS, so it has a good chance of doing even better.
Like, I'm not really familiar with TBS or TNT. Like, I'm not entirely sure how big they are in terms of like networks, like compared to CBS or NBC. Or
they're considered cable, but they're frequently number one in cable for specific things.
Yeah,
I mean, really?
Yeah, I mean TBS. I just remember it for like because SmackDown used to be on TBS on Thursdays, like in the early 2000s, and TNT SmackDown was on TBS.
Okay, because we always just get it on TSN here in Canada.
Not back. Well, again, during the whole like SmackDown versus Raw era, we only got Raw and SmackDown was on TBS, which my parents had to subscribe. But anyway,
do you guys think CM Punk's promos are getting old in the sense that he keeps on repeating himself, talking about how happy he is, talking about how he doesn't want it to end? I mean, I made this comment like about 4 weeks ago.
And forcing us into 5-minute final matches. That's why it's getting old for me, because I can tell the rest of the show has to scramble after he pulls it all to a screeching halt. And I get that the fans are excited and this is all new to them, but like for us watching on TV, this is like the 5th time we've seen this.
Okay, so you agree. Okay, because when I first mentioned this, it was like 4 or 5 weeks ago, and you guys didn't disagree, but you guys weren't really on board.
I was cautiously optimistic. Like I was like, I can see how this is going to get very old, but we'll see what happens. I'm over it. I'm over it.
Yeah, I mean, we're still in the quote unquote honeymoon phases, right?
He's still in the honeymoon phase.
He's in the honeymoon phase. The live audiences are in the honeymoon phase. Yeah. I'm over it.
I'm okay. I'm a little bit indifferent. I'm okay with it.
Or at the very least, just get in the ring, say your piece, and then get out. Like, we don't need you sitting there for everybody singing the song every bloody time.
I just feel like CM Punk, like, everyone likes him, I like him, but I feel like he really wears his emotions on his sleeve.
Yeah.
And I feel like he's just not over. Well, clearly he's not, because he went on a 10-minute rant about it, and he continues to go on a rant about WWE and Vince McMahon. And it's like, get over it, move on. Like, you're in a new company now. Like, I understand you're happy to be there. We're happy you're there, but cutting a 5-minute promo on every episode of Dynamite.
I mean, somebody is booking him to do this, so clearly somebody thinks that this is a ratings getter, but it's the same promo every time.
Yeah, that's CM Punk's fault. That's what I'm saying. Having him come out is not a bad idea. Having him cut the same damn promo is a bad idea.
No, I agree with you there. Like, having him to come out to do the same thing every night, it is starting to get a little old. I am not tired. I mean, like, I wouldn't say like not tired, but I'm indifferent. I'm slowly starting to get tired of it. If this keeps continuing for like another week or two, I mean, I think I'll probably be at the same point that you guys
Because
are.
Wednesday, you could feel they were scrambling to
Hmm.
catch up time, and it's just
Yeah, I know.
It brings me
It's
to my second last question is, do you think they're making a mistake by booking CM Punk on Rampage and not just letting him fight on Dynamite? Because we're getting like triple of CM Punk, but it's not the quality that we're hoping for. Because they filmed
I
both
don't
shows back
yeah.
to
They
back.
both they both they
yeah
film both shows back to back.
I don't think that was the problem.
Hmm. Yeah, it's just really the promo, and it's just for me like just like where is this going? You know, like
Yeah,
The reason why I think it's the problem is because they have him come out and cut a promo on Dynamite because he's not wrestling on Dynamite, he's wrestling on Rampage. Just have him
yes.
wrestle on Rampage. You get the guy to come out, you get the viewership, you have an actual wrestling match. Plus, people want to see the guy wrestle. They don't want to see the guy cut the same promo.
mhm.
Have him cut promos on freaking Rampage.
Yeah, it could.
No, but they wanted to be able to use the image of CM Punk coming out in the promos for that episode of Dynamite.
I think they're doing it backwards. That's just me.
It's entirely possible, but then again, I always make the comparison of like when Sting showed up. How long did we go where Tony Schiavone is introducing Sting, you know, when he first came into AEW? That's
I
that's
still feel like those segments were shorter.
Oh yeah, by
yeah,
far.
yeah,
And
yeah,
the
yeah.
difference here, Aaron, is that was not Sting's fault because Sting never even had a chance to cut a promo because
No, he
every time he
never
walked
did.
out, he
Well,
would get jumped.
exactly.
But
I mean,
here,
that's
CM Punk
that's.
has the whole entire stage to himself, and he's not saying anything interesting. He's saying that he's just basically repeating himself.
I know. I mean, like that's what I'm hoping that it will lead into. Like it'll just like his promos will just get shorter and shorter, and he'll just find new rivals to pick on.
Well, we've been waiting 5 weeks for that to happen, and
Yeah.
I don't know when it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Because like watching him wrestle Darby Allin and Daniel Garcia, like that was amazing. Like you
Mhm.
see him wrestling new talent, it shows how good
Yeah, that
they
Garcia
are.
match was fantastic.
Mhm.
Freaking amazing, yeah. Last question. Aaron, what were the ratings for Dynamite this week?
They were 1.053 million viewers for a 0.37 rating for 18 to 49. So it dropped.
It's slightly dropped, but we're still over 1 million.
We're still over 1 million. I mean, like, it's for anyone who's like, oh my god, it's dropping. What are we gonna do? I mean, they're going against like baseball on Wednesday night and
Right.
other sporting events. We're gonna get like hockey next month. It's these things will happen, but I wouldn't panic.
I'm curious about what's going to happen on Friday this week.
Yeah. Well,
Because
yeah.
they're
I
going
mean,
head to
yeah,
head.
because I know, Rampage. I'm hearing that the ratings are dropped quite a bit too.
Okay.
Yeah, the ratings for Rampage have dropped to about 600,000, I think.
Actually, less according to like Wrestling
Oh,
Observer.
yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Look, I mean, I'm not. Look, we're not going to repeat ourselves. We talked about
Mhm.
this last week, but I think the three main reasons is first of all Friday, second of all 10 p.m., and third of all it's pre-recorded, so nothing big's going to happen because if it happens, it would get leaked online. So that's the
Yeah.
problem with Rampage. They need to stop pre-recording that show.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe something crazy happens this week because Tony seems pretty sure that they're going to beat SmackDown. Go figure.
It's very, very wishful thinking.
There's
right?
no
I
way
like it.
it's
I
beating
mean,
SmackDown.
Yeah.
Yeah, if what you're saying is correct, like, I don't know.
And also, like, Dynamite's on Saturday this week. So
yeah, so it's not like they can tease something to happen on Friday. So I don't know.
no, like, not at all. I mean, Paige is back, but it doesn't really change much.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow, that has been Ricky's rapid fire questions.
All right. We're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to start talking about the best matches of 2021 in AEW.
Who's tired of this yet? You tired of this yet? I show up here every week thinking y'all gonna get tired of this pretty soon. I'm not tired of it, so I'm gonna keep this love fest going. I appreciate you all so much. Did you guys see these Jordans?
Nice.
Listen, I come from humble beginnings, kind of nothing. I moved to Philadelphia in 2002 and I lived up the road for about a good 3 years. And listen, I wrestled on Wednesdays, I wrestled Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, I ran a wrestling training school. I literally ate and I slept and I breathed professional wrestling.
Five, four, three, two, one. And we're back on Talk AEW. For the main event, we're going to be talking about some of the best matches of 2021. I know we're not quite at the end of the year yet. Quite at the end of the year yet. But we figured now is a pretty good time to... we've had some of the best matches just within the last few weeks. So let's see if we can go back and figure out which one was the best.
Speaking of like Matt, it's gotta be Daniel Bryan and Kenny Omega, right?
That's on the list, guaranteed.
It's gotta be.
Yeah, it's in. It's one or two for me. You know what? It's one.
Yeah, it's like
yeah. So okay, so that's number one. What is number two?
There have been so many great matches, especially at the start of the year on Dynamite. Mm-hmm. And the sad thing is I can't remember all of these amazing matches. I had a list. I accidentally deleted the list, but I'm telling you, on the list, I had like about 7 or 8 matches. And I remember there was a match. Was it the Lucha Brothers versus
the Young Bucks?
Was it the Lucha Brothers versus the Young Bucks? Yeah. It was on Dynamite, right?
Oh, on Dynamite. Ooh.
I kind of feels like Lucha Brothers and Pac versus
Bucks and Kenny.
Wasn't it Kenny and
the Young Bucks
and the Blood Brothers? The Young Brothers?
Good Brothers?
The Good Brothers?
Can't be with the Good Brothers.
That seems unlikely.
Yeah. they're great and everything, but I don't match like memorable matches. I don't know.
Seems unlikely, you know.
like no offense to the Good Brothers, but yeah.
Guys, I'm telling you, there was an amazing match at the start of the year. I'm talking about January. I'm pretty sure it had Lucha Brothers. It was on Dynamite. It closed off the show, and it was incredible.
Was it the one where the Young Bucks were against the Lucha Bros and then they pulled their mask off?
That was a great match.
That was a great match. I remember that one.
Okay, no, it was the Young Bucks versus Pac and Rey Fenix.
Mm.
Yes.
No. No, it was not.
Why was it?
It's like we just keep on thinking Lucha Brothers.
Well, anything Lucha Bros and the Young Bucks is always a great match.
Yeah, it's going to be in the top 5 of whatever year it happens in.
I think I have our number 2 winner. I think this would be second place. I could be wrong, but Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa, the hardcore lights out match. That was this year.
Okay, yeah. Because I was thinking about that match, but I could not remember if that was this year or like late in 2020 or something like that.
No, I think it was actually this year.
Okay. It was this year.
The longest year ever.
Yeah.
Because last year felt like it took a long time, but for some reason this year is even longer. Yeah.
Okay, so we got Kenny Omega versus Bryan Danielson. We got Thunder Rosa versus Britt Baker. And also, I would add Kenny Omega versus Rey Fenix. That was the match that closed off Dynamite in January.
Right.
And I believe that was the first episode of Dynamite of 2021. That was an incredible match.
You know what's another one I want to throw in there? Adam Page against Brian Cage.
Oh my God. That was amazing.
The undercard, it was the undercard match, but it was so freaking crazy.
Yeah.
You know, Aaron, now that you mentioned that pay-per-view, that pay-per-view was incredible. We can also throw in the main event, which was Pac Orange Cassidy, and Kenny Omega.
Oh, that's
right.
right.
The triple threat.
Yeah, that 3-way match was
Mhm.
insane.
Yeah. Which pay-per-view was that again? That was Revolution? No, Revolution was the death match. The exploding barbed wire death match, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was this year.
That was this year.
And that will not be
Oh.
making our list.
No.
Probably not.
It was a great match until the pyrotechnics screwed up. Yeah.
I really want that t-shirt though. A, it's a badass t-shirt, and B, it's like a hilarious in-joke for all wrestling fans.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, here's a match that I'm sure most people forgot about, but it was on my list. It was Serena Deeb versus Riho.
Oh yeah, the buy-in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fantastic. I'm trying to think if the Sheeta Deep match was better. They're close in my mind, but I still actually would give it to the Riho match.
I kind of feel like every single Serena Deeb match is better than most women's matches in AEW, just because she's by far the best. She's her and Thunder Rosa, but I think she's way more experienced than Thunder Rosa.
Yes.
Yeah.
And her experience is what does it. And when she gets to work with somebody else who's very experienced, like Riho, who we forget is like a 12-year veteran, it was magic. And they're both so flexible, like their styles melded really well against each other. And like there was enough of a height difference that like Serena Deeb was intimidating towards Riho and then playing heel and going so vicious. Yeah. I mean, it was a buy-in match, but like I still almost remember it beat for beat. It was so good.
Yeah, and listeners, we will be returning to this discussion at the end of the year. We're just trying to get an idea of like what the best matches were so far because there's so many. So we're going to keep a list, and at the end of the year, we'll do our top 10 of 2021, I guess. But one more match we can consider, quite a few actually, with Darby Allin. But like, I mean, Darby Allin versus Miro, I thought that was a really good match.
Yeah, that was the one that the Miro won, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when he won the championship and became God's chosen.
You know, Pac also teamed up with Penta and wrestled Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson on an episode of Dynamite. I think that was in the summertime. That was a great match.
Yeah, I mean, there was a long story spot between the Death Triangle and the Young Bucks. So yeah, like this rotating tag team cast happening during that summer.
Okay, there's too many good matches. I found the list here of some of the main events. Okay, what about remember? I don't remember which pay-per-view it was, or maybe it wasn't a pay-per-view. Maybe it was Dynamite. Darby Allin versus Ethan Page.
Oh yeah,
the
coffin match.
Yeah, was that the coffin match?
That was the coffin match.
Yeah.
That's got to be on the list.
I mean,
I wanna say a Sammy match, but I don't think Sammy Guevara had a great match this year.
No, he was there. There was a pretty long period that he didn't have anything.
Yeah.
You might disagree, but I was a huge fan of the MJF versus Chris Jericho match at the pay-per-view event.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I really liked the fake out. I liked the opening when they teased Y2J. I like the fact that MJF technically won the match, right? I mean, like, technically in my eyes, MJF won the match. Like, you shouldn't be able to reverse your decision like that. Because that referee was an actual official referee of the match. But they did, and therefore Chris Jericho was now forced to retire, so it all makes sense in my head.
But the leg was on the rope? I mean...
The leg
was on the rope, but that happens all the time.
I feel like, I just feel like they could have sold the ending a bit better so that we aren't still asking questions about it.
Oh, okay. How can we forget FTR? Because, like, pretty much every match with FTR versus Sting and Darby
that FTR
Allin.
Santana Ortiz match.
FTR versus Santana Ortiz, guaranteed. Was that on Dynamite?
Yeah,
it was on Dynamite. Yes.
So
many great matches. Eddie Kingston versus Miro, another great match.
Yeah, I was just about to mention that. I'm like that it was at All Out, right? Eddie Kingston and Lance Archer. Or no, not Lance Archer, Miro. Yeah, that was a great match. Holy crap!
You see, I want to say Miro versus Sammy, but I don't think it was best of the year quality. That's it, really. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a lot more than I'm forgetting about earlier on in the year, especially on Dynamite. And I would say the last one I would add to the list is Christian Cage versus Kenny Omega, the first episode of Rampage.
True.
Oh, yeah, when he won the belt. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
I think when it comes to the end of the year, I think we're going to be able to do easily a top 25. Like 25 solid matches, which we can recommend to any wrestling fan, and they will most likely love it.
For sure. I mean, like
easy.
I mean, like the way we did that like the wrestlers ranking. I mean, we can definitely do that with the wrestling matches, like at the end of the year or something.
Yeah, we'll do a full tier list.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Before we cut the break, though, just really quick, would you put the Bryan Danielson match with, which Jackson did he wrestle? Was it Nick or Matt?
It was Nick.
It was Nick. I don't think I would put that match on the list.
I don't think so, because it wasn't.
It's an honorable mention, but I don't think it's top. Because that's the other thing, is like the base quality level is so relatively high.
Yes. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. But would you put Jungle Boy versus Adam Cole?
Yeah, that one I'd have to think about a little bit more, because that was a really good match, and it had a really good intensity and flow to it. That
here's the thing, I would put it on the list, and there was a match with Jungle Boy earlier in the year. Was it Cash Wheeler he wrestled, or was it
Dax?
Right.
Oh, was it Cash or was it Dax? I think it was
Cash. It was Dax. No,
you're right, it was Dax.
Yeah, it was Dax. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna have to return to this topic at the end of the year, because there's way too many matches.
There's a
list. Yeah, there's a lot that we could just go on and on and on.
If you're listening to this podcast and you missed any of these matches, go and check them out on YouTube. I'm pretty damn sure they're on YouTube. Every year I do post a list on the actual website, so guaranteed we will have a list on the website, and we will be doing a list on our podcast at the end of the year.
All right. On that note, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to have a final segment where we talk about the casino ladder match.
Right now, Malachi Black not only has his number, he's got all of our numbers, because he is thinking one thing. He's not thinking about the big show Cody's been starring on. He's not thinking about his reality show. Right now, Cody's just too Hollywood.
This is symbolic of the same thing Malachi Black did, coming in an unlocked door to AEW.
What the hell are you
somebody's
doing?
Finally aware that I'm here.
What
Come
are
on
you
down,
doing?
Cody, see what's going on. Last week, everybody thought, did he walk out on Cody? Is that the end of it? You finally realize I'm here.
Well, yeah, he snuck
Took
into
long
my
enough.
house. What are you going to do, shoot
Come
me?
on down, Cody.
Oh, come on. That's a big, very expensive suit.
You can have hit TV shows. You can buy a multi-million-dollar match, and then when you're winning, everybody looks at you and goes, damn right, man, I'm happy for you. Good for you. As a wrestler, you're very good right now. Give me that tie. Yeah, give me the tie. Why don't you just paint a star on your face and everything will be cool? See, this is just more excess.
No, you don't, Arn, you don't need to throw that away. I get it. I get what you're...
You threw us away, damn it.
And we're back on Talk AEW, talking about casino ladder matches. Does the staggered entrance work when there are ladders in play? Rick, you obviously have very strong feelings about this.
So I was talking to Tyler, one of our writers over at GumaStomp.com, who writes coverage on AEW, and he kind of agrees with me, because he was writing about that specific episode of Dynamite, and he's like, it doesn't make any sense, because the whole entire episode is designed and built and booked and written so Adam Page comes back, wins, and he gets a title shot. We get it. Okay, fine. But throughout the entire match, there was maybe 22 times where 22 different wrestlers, well, not 20, I'm exaggerating here, but there was multiple times in which wrestlers could have easily just climbed a ladder and decided, I'm not going to climb the ladder. I'm going to throw the ladder out of the ring. I'm going to beat up my opponent. But the prize could not be bigger. Whereas when you look at the WWE Royal Rumble, like, you can't win until all the wrestlers have entered the ring, right? So that's the one little, I would call it a flaw, where they just need to fix that. It needs to be, you can't win until all the wrestlers are in the ring. Otherwise, it's pointless.
Yeah, there needs to be some clarification of the stipulations. Otherwise, like I don't remember noticing it as much in the first Casino Battle or Ladder Royale because I think they did a good job of working feuds and stuff into it, and so there was a lot of extra drama going on instead of just like every dude strolling in on his entrance and then going for the ladder and then deciding for no reason at all not to.
Mm-hmm. No.
It happened too many times.
Mm-hmm.
It happens
Like
so many times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if it happens once or twice, okay, fine. But like it was like every guy coming in. It was ridiculous. The thing is though, I like on paper, casino ladder match sounds great.
But it'd be better if, obviously, like if all the wrestlers were in there already. I mean, like,
Yeah,
I
honestly,
think,
like more of a like that's the thing. Because
Mhm.
the one thing I do like out of it that out of the casino structure is the idea of the Joker.
Mhm.
Other than that, I would much prefer a just like full on melee ladder match.
Mhm.
But I don't know how you marry those two things cohesively.
Right. I think I agree with everything that you guys said. Like, it's true. The whole staggered entrance. I mean, there was a couple of times that these guys in the sports psychology kind of way, like there was a lot of times that they probably could have gone up and got it so many times with the number of people that got knocked out and how little amount of people are in the ring,
Well, it was
especially
also
earlier.
again like scrambling for time at the end of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like it makes a lot of sense. I mean, like if for like the argument is super valid. Like I agree with it. It's just I feel they kind of I feel like Tony Khan or AEW kind of booked themselves between like a rock and a hard place because like clearly we are heading towards the direction of Adam Page getting the AEW championship. I think it's like wouldn't be a surprise if he does win it at Full Gear. It's just that like
no, but it's a small tweak, Aaron. Like I think you like, and I think we all like the concept. The kind of it's sort of similar to the Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
Like Mariko said, having the Joker come out, not knowing who it is, hearing all kinds of like rumors about who it could be, anticipating is it Adam Page, is it not? But look, you remove the damn ladder. You have the last guy come in with the ladder, which means that no one can actually try to climb the ladder and win the match. Because there's no ladder in the ring. It's the last guy who brings the ladder into the ring, which is the Joker.
You put the ladder in a freaking cage like Survivor Series and it doesn't open up until the last guy comes out. I don't know. Something like that.
Like Elimination Chamber, maybe as a key, it's inside some sort of like glass
Sorry,
cage.
Elimination Chamber. Whatever. It's not like I follow that closely.
At one point in time, Lance Archer was in the ring. There was no one in the ring. He had the ladder in his hands. All he had to do is pop the ladder up and climb the ladder, and he threw the ladder out of the ring.
All he needed to do was stand on the second rung.
Yeah, exactly.
The man is 8 feet tall.
Yeah.
And the guy went to go beat up someone outside. And this is, again, for the biggest prize.
Right. I mean, like, it's like I said, like, I just... in terms of, like, rules and stuff, like, the way like, they could change this whole, like, Casino Royale thing, like, I... for sure think that they should rethink the way they set this match up. But it's just
I like I said, on paper, it's a great idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But for some reason in practice, it was really we know it's scripted, but
it didn't make sense.
To be that obvious.
Mm-hmm. I mean, especially like when Adam Page came out, right? It's just like we all know he's gonna win this. So that there was really no surprise. I mean, like when he did show up, I mean, it was a great pop, nonetheless.
Oh, I loved it. It was amazing.
And
I love this new gear, by the way.
Yeah, it's super great. It's just, and also like I said earlier, like I think they're stuck between a rock and a hard place because like before Adam Page left, I mean, they had to put a match like this because Adam Page can't challenge for an AEW championship. So they had
actually. Okay, so wait a minute. I think we got that, or I got that wrong when we talked about Page leaving. He was still allowed to wrestle for the title.
No, Kenny. If Kenny beats him, he wasn't allowed to challenge for the title.
So how does this change anything?
He didn't challenge. Well, that's what I'm saying. I think they booked himself into a particular situation because he's not necessarily challenging Kenny. He just managed to get the right to challenge him because of the poker chip.
Yeah, I mean, it's the poker chip is equivalent to the money in
Yeah,
the
it's money in the
money in
yeah.
the bank.
Mhm.
Yeah. I look. All I'm saying is it's just a very small tweak. Like I'm pretty sure they can't outright copy Royal Rumble. I'm pretty sure that's
No, we can't.
a WWE owned copyright in terms of
Mhm.
like actually having all 30 wrestlers come in but it's very because it's like so similar. It's just that they put a ladder in the middle of the ring.
Mm-hmm. It's similar, but
It's basically what it is. It's Royal Rumble mixed with Money in the Bank is what it is.
Exactly. I mean, like, because I was just gonna say, like, in Money in Bank, like the wrestlers are not. There's no staggered entrance. I mean, I think they're all in the ring. No.
Yeah, because there's usually like 6 people fighting for.
Yeah, exactly.
The suitcase.
Exactly, but at least they're all in the ring, and you won't have an awkward situation where it's like, well, I could get the belt right, like I could get the poker chip right now, but let me go beat up this dude.
Well, that's the thing. Like
Yeah.
Tony Khan doesn't want to make it look like he's copying WWE, but in actuality, you are. You're just taking 2 ideas and you're blending them together to make it one idea. Whereas if you did what we were saying that they should do, it would be Money in the Bank, is what it is.
Right.
It's just replace the suitcase with a poker chip. So look, all I'm saying is just have the last guy bring the ladder into the ring because it just doesn't make any sense for them to all have like a ladder and not want to climb it to get a shot at the title, which is again the biggest prize in the game. That's about it. I mean, in terms of like gimmick matches, if you want to call it gimmick matches, like the big huge events, like I liked the War Game style match,
Blood and Guts.
Blood and Guts.
Yeah.
Yep.
The ladder matches are always great, but have we seen a TLC match in AEW yet?
No, but that's kind of what the ladder matches are, anyways.
Yeah.
Because there's no DQ, so that's because there were tables at play, most of them on the outside, but you know, and chairs, lots of chairs.
Huh? Yeah. Anyhow, it was good in a sense that it ended well.
It ended well, and I mean, like I said, it ended the way everyone thought it was gonna go. I mean, I didn't expect anything less. But you guys did bring up an interesting point, like how there was some lull moments in between, like it just didn't make any sense, which I totally get. I like I said, like I really think that they just kind of like booked themselves into a corner here. You know, we had to get this Adam Page story going, so I guess this was like the way of just getting it on the
100%. That's what it was, but that doesn't mean you can't make what's happening in the ring with all those ladders and very tall men make a little bit more sense. Yeah. Just saying. I
will say that Adam Page pulling that big huge move off the ladder.
Yeah.
Who did he drop again?
Was it Moxley?
I think it was. Anyhow, that was no, it wasn't.
No. Moxley just got pushed off. He did the Deadeye on the table onto.
Was it Pac? For some reason, or was it? I think it was Andrade. Was it Andrade?
It might have been Andrade. No,
Andrade had an amazing move though, but it was not him.
Yeah, it was the only thing that kind of took me out of the moment. I mean, yes, as soon as Adam Page showed up, like we knew how it was going to end, but. All of the faffing about before that was kind of like, okay, what is happening?
Also, one last question. Does the Joker always have to come out last?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Save the best for last, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, because the one thing about the Royal Rumble is you can have a surprise entrance like at number 5 or like number 10.
Yeah, but when there's like, it's a lot easier to do that when there's like 50 people. When you only have 21, it's I guess that's still a lot of people, to be fair, but especially when you're bringing them in like groups of people, and then you know in the Casino Battle Royale, that makes it more sense with the Joker, and he's like the only one who comes out who's not part of a group, and makes it more special. But I just like surprises, right? So that's why I want to like the idea of the casino ladder match. It just
Yeah,
It's
it's just
it needs some tweaking.
yeah. I mean, it's just the Joker is just kind of it solves makes everything okay better.
All right. Well, I guess we know who's going to win the championship at the pay-per-view event coming up, because guaranteed Paige is winning.
I don't know. I feel like Bryan Danielson is in the middle of something, and like, can we really just like derail that and then go into this? I don't know. I'm curious. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced.
Okay. What if I say that after the Dynamite after Full Gear is in Virginia?
I know.
100% don't think they would give the championship belt to someone who just walked into the company over Paige when they've been trying to give him.
No, I'm not saying that Danielson would even win, but yeah, okay.
We've talked. It could be a triple threat. We'll just do a triple threat like in WrestleMania again.
It could, but
honestly, I kind of want a triple threat.
Yeah,
that's kind of what I want.
I think that would be great, but I still think Paige needs to win, is going to win, and will win, guaranteed. Yeah, it's if there's one guarantee in AEW this year, it's Paige is winning the championship belt.
Mm-hmm.
I really hope you guys are right.
I'm pretty sure Paige, if he gets a championship belt and it elevates him to like the next level of stardom, he could be, and people are going to think I'm crazy, but he could be as popular as Stone Cold Steve Austin in the sense of, like, how do I explain this? In the sense of like where the company is at that point in time. Like, you know what I mean? Like Stone Cold was as popular as he could be for WWE, right?
Yeah.
I think Paige would be as popular of a wrestler could be in that kind of company with that kind of fan base.
Yeah. No, I think you're right.
Yeah, that pop when he came out was pretty insane.
It was almost as insane as hearing the crowd talk over Dan Lambert to the point where you couldn't hear the guy, which was amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
They need to figure out where they're going with this and just do it.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we got the reveal at least of where this is all going, so maybe it can be over soon. I don't know. We'll see what happens. All right. I think that does it for this evening. I would like to thank my co-host, Mr. Aaron Santos.
No problem.
And of course, the ravishing Ricky D.
Thank you, everyone, to listen to the podcast. Do check out the podcast over at talkaewpodcast.com. It will redirect you to the main website. But once again, it's Talk AEW Podcast. You can listen to the podcast everywhere from iTunes to Spotify to YouTube, you name it. And follow us on Twitter. It's Talk AEW Podcast.
Goodbye.